Hey everyone, welcome back. You guys know how much I love digging into the stuff you send, and this one is really cool. We're going deep on harnessing your subconscious for success.
Excited to break this one down.
I think, a lot of us have heard about the power of the subconscious, but this book really gets into the nitty-gritty, and it's got me thinking, like how much of our life is really shaped by this hidden part of our minds.
Right. And it's more than you'd think. Scientists actually estimate that something like 95% of our brain activity is happening subconsciously.
95%. Whoa. Okay, so we're talking about way more than just like breathing and digestion here.
Oh yeah, this is the real deal. Your subconscious is running the show more than we realize. It's like imagine a ship, right? Your conscious mind might be up on deck deciding which way to steer, but down below, you've got the engine room. That's your subconscious. It's powering everything, driving you towards whatever destination you've programmed into it.
So, are we saying that even if I'm trying to like consciously make changes in my life, my subconscious could be sabotaging me?
It's definitely possible. The book talks about how our subconscious is like a garden. Every thought we have, every experience we go through, it's like planting a seed.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Yeah, and if we're not careful, we can end up with a garden full of weeds. All those limiting beliefs and negative self-talk.
So then how do we get rid of the weeds and plant some better seeds, so to speak?
Well, that's where the real meat of the book comes in. It lays out 7 specific steps for harnessing your subconscious power.
7 steps. All right, I'm all ears.
The first one, and this is crucial, is clarity of vision. Your subconscious needs a clear target to aim for. It's not enough to just, kind of wish for things to be better.
So like instead of just saying I want to be rich, I need to get really specific about what that means,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Like how much money do you want to make? By when? How are you going to achieve it? The more detail you can give your subconscious, the better it can work its magic.
That makes sense. Like give it a detailed blueprint, not just a vague sketch.
Exactly. And that leads us to step 2, visualization.
Ooh, visualization. This is something I've always been curious about. It sounds kind of woo-woo, but I know a lot of successful people swear by it.
Yeah, and there's actually a scientific basis for why it works. When you vividly imagine yourself doing something, achieving a goal, your brain actually fires the same neural pathways as if you were actually doing it.
Wow. So it's like a mental rehearsal.
Exactly. And the more you do it, the more you're training your brain to recognize that outcome as attainable.
Okay, so we've got clarity of vision, visualization. What's step 3?
Step 3 is positive affirmations. Now, I know some people roll their eyes at this one, but the truth is our subconscious minds are incredibly receptive to repetition.
So even if I don't believe something at first, if I keep repeating it, my subconscious will start to buy into it.
It's like creating a groove in a record. The more you play it, the deeper that groove gets.
Eventually it becomes the default track, right?
Exactly. So instead of replaying those old negative thoughts, you start feeding your subconscious with positive, empowering statements.
I like it. Okay, so far we've got clarity, visualization, affirmations.
And step 4 is all about taking action. It's called consistent action, and it's all about proving to your subconscious mind that you're serious about your goals.
So it's not enough to just think positive thoughts and visualize my success. I actually have to get off the couch and do something.
You got it. Your subconscious needs evidence. It needs to see that you're walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Makes sense, like show me, don't tell me, right?
Exactly. If you want to write a book, you can visualize yourself holding that finished book in your hands all day long. But until you actually sit down and start writing, your subconscious won't fully buy into the idea.
Actions speak louder than words, even to our subconscious minds. I'm really enjoying this deep dive. What's step 5 all about?
So step 5, this one is all about those pesky negative beliefs. The ones that we all have lurking back there.
Oh, tell me about it. I'm
Yeah.
not good enough, I'll never be successful, that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And it's called reframing negative beliefs. It's about consciously choosing to challenge and change those thoughts.
Okay, so how do we actually do that? Because it's easy to say, think positive, but those negative thoughts, they can be pretty sticky.
They really can. But the book gives this great example. It talks about reframing that thought, I'm not good enough, to I'm constantly improving and learning.
I see. So it's not about denying the negative thought, it's about like shifting the perspective.
Right. It's like instead of seeing your flaws as permanent, you see them as opportunities for growth.
It reminds me of that power of yet idea we talked about a while back, like you might not be there yet, but you're on your way.
Exactly. And that leads us to step 6, which is practicing gratitude.
Gratitude. Okay, now this one seems a little out of left field. How does being thankful help me achieve success?
Well, think about it this way. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you're shifting your attention away from what you lack.
So instead of feeling like I'm not enough, I'm focusing on all the good stuff I already have.
Exactly. It's like, remember that garden analogy? Gratitude is like fertilizing the soil.
Creating a more fertile ground for those positive seeds to grow, I like it.
And there's actually science to back this up. Studies have shown that gratitude can have a real impact on our well-being.
Oh yeah, I've read about that. Like people who practice gratitude regularly, they tend to be happier, healthier, even sleep better.
It's pretty amazing, right?
Hmm.
And when you feel good, when you're vibrating at a higher frequency, you're naturally more likely to attract positive experiences into your life.
Okay, I'm starting to see the connection here. So we've got clarity of vision, visualization, affirmations, action, reframing negative beliefs, and now gratitude. What's the final step?
The final step is surround yourself with positivity. This one's all about being mindful of the influences in your environment.
So like the people we hang out with, the books we read, the movies we watch, all that stuff.
All of it. It all contributes to the overall atmosphere of our lives.
And even if we're not consciously aware of it, those influences are shaping our thoughts and beliefs.
Exactly. Think about it like this. If you were trying to grow a delicate flower, you wouldn't plant it in a dark, gloomy basement, would you?
Nope, definitely not.
Mm.
You'd want to give it plenty of sunshine and fresh air.
It's the same with our minds. We need to create an environment that supports growth and well-being.
So choose your friends wisely, curate your media consumption, and maybe give your living space a little feng shui makeover.
Exactly. It's all about creating a space where positivity can flourish.
I love it. So we've got these 7 powerful steps. Clarity of vision, visualization, positive affirmations, consistent action, reframing negative beliefs, practicing gratitude, and surrounding ourselves with positivity. Wow, that's quite a toolkit.
It is, but remember, you don't have to do everything perfectly right away. Just start with 1 or 2 steps that resonate with you and build from there.
Yeah, that's good advice because it can feel overwhelming to think about changing like everything all at once.
Right. And the key is to be consistent. Small, consistent efforts over time will lead to bigger changes.
Like building a muscle, right? You don't go from couch potato to marathon runner overnight.
Exactly. It takes time and effort to reprogram those subconscious patterns.
Speaking of real life examples, the book mentions a bunch of successful people who've used these principles, right?
Oh, yeah. There's a story about an athlete who used visualization to win a gold medal.
No way. Like she just imagined it happening over and over again.
Pretty much, she visualized herself crossing the finish line, feeling the weight of the medal around her neck, hearing the roar of the crowd.
And her subconscious mind was like, all right, let's make this happen.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is that a lot of successful people might not even be consciously aware that they're tapping into the power of their subconscious.
It's like they've figured out the secret formula without even realizing it.
In a way, yeah. They've learned to trust their intuition, to follow their gut, and to consistently take action towards their goals.
And they've probably weeded out a lot of negative self-talk along the way.
Oh, definitely. Because if you're constantly telling yourself you can't do something, you're never going to even try.
True, true. You know, it's funny, as we're talking about this, I'm realizing that a lot of these principles overlap with what we've discussed in previous deep dives. Like, remember when we talked about the power of habits?
Oh, absolutely. Habits are basically subconscious programs running in the background.
And we talked about how it takes conscious effort to break old habits and form new ones.
It's the same principle here. We're talking about reprogramming those subconscious patterns, whether they're habits, beliefs, or emotional responses.
Right. It's all about taking control of our inner world so we can create the outer reality we desire.
Exactly. And that brings us back to one of my favorite quotes from the book. It says, "Your thoughts are the architects of your reality."
Ooh, I like that one. It's so powerful.
It really is, because it reminds us that we're not just passive observers in our own lives. We have the power to shape our experiences with our thoughts.
But okay, real talk. Sometimes it feels like our thoughts have a mind of their own. Like, how do we even begin to control this constant stream of mental chatter?
That's where mindfulness comes in.
Mindfulness, our old friend.
Exactly. It's about becoming aware of our thoughts without judgment.
So it's not about trying to stop thinking altogether. It's about, like, noticing those thoughts as they arise and choosing which ones we want to engage with.
Exactly. It's like, imagine you're watching a movie. You can choose to get caught up in the drama, or you can just observe the story unfolding.
I see. So mindfulness helps us become more objective observers of our own thoughts rather than getting swept away by them.
Precisely. And once we develop that awareness, we can start to choose which thoughts we want to feed and which ones we want to let go of.
Okay, I'm definitely feeling inspired here.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, it can still feel a bit overwhelming to think about like overhauling my entire mental operating system.
I hear you. It's a process. It's not something that happens overnight.
So where do we even start?
It is a process. It does take time.
Well, and I think that's maybe where people get discouraged, right? They try something for a week, they don't see immediate results, and they're like, "Well, this doesn't work."
Yeah. But think about it. Like, you wouldn't expect to plant a seed and have a full-grown tree the next day.
True, true.
It takes time for those roots to grow, for that little sprout to push through the soil.
So patience is key.
Absolutely. And remember, we're talking about like changing deep-seated patterns here, stuff that's been ingrained in our subconscious for years, maybe even decades.
Yeah, it's not like switching a light switch.
Exactly. It's more like rewiring a whole electrical system.
Ooh, that's a good analogy.
And it's going to take some work, some trial and error, some rewiring, but it's totally possible.
Well, and the book makes a really compelling case for why it's worth the effort, right? Like the benefits of harnessing your subconscious, they're pretty amazing.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about like unlocking your full potential, achieving your wildest dreams, creating a life of purpose and fulfillment.
Okay, I'm sold. So let's recap those 7 steps one more time just so everyone has them.
Okay, so step 1, clarity of vision. Get crystal clear on what you want.
Step 2, visualization. Imagine yourself achieving your goal in vivid detail.
Step 3, positive affirmations. Repeat those empowering statements like a mantra.
Step 4, consistent action. Take those baby steps every day to move you closer to your goal.
Step 5, reframe negative beliefs. Challenge those limiting thoughts and replace them with more empowering ones.
Step 6, practice gratitude. Focus on all the good stuff in your life.
And step 7, surround yourself with positivity. Create an environment that supports your growth.
Boom. There you have it, folks. The 7 steps to harnessing your subconscious power. Now go out there and create the life you've always dreamed of.
And remember, one small step at a time, you got this.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We'll see you next time.